this is one of the things that you had said before, and this was actually one of the things that I had actually did a response video to you, and you kind of briefly said it earlier, but you were talking about the whole concept of women want men they can control.
Hmm.
Okay, so why do you think women want those type of men, and do you think that that's in conflict toward the quote unquote masculine men that they also say that they want? It's like a duality here.
Yeah. Oh, and that video went up. Like the original podcaster when he posted it, oh my God, they did not like that. I knew they wouldn't though, because obviously we listen to reply, we don't really listen to understand. So
Hmm.
I like to say, okay, when we talking about women want to control men, what I'm saying is look at the steps that you take when it comes to the man. Look at the things that you say real, quote unquote, real men do. Look at what you're saying. Look at the image that you're building. And then you tell
Hmm.
me if that's not control. You're trying to take the man out of his normal, masculine, natural leader, provider state to please you. That's a form of
Hmm.
control. I feel like when we try to make men, this is what I don't like. We try to tell men they need to be softer with us, and then the same breath of telling them they need to be softer, we call them sassy. We tell them
Hmm.
they need to, vent more and, open up to us. We want to know, we want to know what you're thinking. And then in the same breath of that, you call them GAY when they're saying things that you don't want to hear. So
Hmm.
it's like, okay, so you don't really want a man to be a man the way he's supposed to be a man. You want him to be the man how you want him to be the man. That's control.
Hmm.
You have this idea of how it should be and you want him to conform to that. That's control.
Okay, so do you think that men don't try to control?
So yes, there are yes. Now not all men are I don't think all men are built to lead. And when I say that, I'm meaning I don't think they have the emotional intelligence for it. I do think there are some men who are what they call it a toxic masculinity. And I think
Hmm.
they do. They try to conquer the woman through like a harsh control. So
Hmm.
I tell you what to wear, I tell you where to go and what not to go. I tell you who to talk to, who not to talk to. No, you can't get your hair like this. You know what I mean? So it's more so of it's a toxic control type thing. So yes, there are men who do that. But I do think by original design, it was meant for the man to lead, which means the men will have more control because how can I
Hmm.
lead you if I don't have the control to do so?
No, I agree. I mean, I definitely agree with it with that. But in that, because women want to have that control, do you think through that process they're naturally picking weaker men?
I think so. I think so. I think they're picking natural men who allow them the control. And then for the men who don't, instead of them actually saying, like, okay, you know what is it that he's saying? Why is he telling me no? Why is it that, he's not doing what I'm saying? Like, what is it? What do he see? Instead of saying that, we're like, oh, well, you ain't finna tell, you ain't my daddy. We revert to, again, we revert to bashing. We revert
Hmm.
to anything to tear them down so that we can get our way. And it's like that's why we're being called masculine because it's like okay, you're not even trying to understand me when I tell you no or when I don't give you the control that you want. Now all of a sudden you want to go to war with me. That's what
Hmm.
masculine energy is. We gonna be tough. We gonna be at war.
Hmm.
I'm gonna be. I feel like if I gotta treat you like you my son, that's me operating in my masculine energy towards you.
Hmm. No,
Because I
I'm
can
I'm with
control my son. I can control my
you.
son. I'm the parent, right? You can't tell me
Hmm.
what to do. You do what I say. That's the parent. That's a parent thing. So when you go from trying to be his partner in your femininity and try to control him like he's your son, yeah, now yes, you're operating in masculinity now. More of it.
Okay, well, so on that, how can women out here find men that aren't in that feminine energy that they can control? How can do you have any like suggestions on what to do maybe on a first date or when they first meet them or anything like that to kind of lock in on saying, okay, this guy has a little bit more masculinity, this guy has a little bit more of what I need
Hmm.
down this pipe.
Yeah. I always say, until you learn yourself, nobody else can learn you. Until you know what you want and what you need, you can date whoever you want to date, however you want to date. You're never going to find it because you don't even know what it is you want. You
Hmm.
want you're looking for the cliche of it. You're looking for the glamour of what relationships look like, but you're not really looking for how what does this man or woman, but what does this man bring to my life? Like, how does he make me better? Then on the
Hmm.
flip side of that, how can I contribute to his? Because it's not all about getting either. And I feel
Hmm.
like a lot of people, when they are dating, I feel like they are about getting a lot. And so then
Hmm.
if you pay for the first dates, if you open my car doors, if you a man that say you pay bills, if you do all of that, then you are the one then. I ain't looked at your character. I ain't see how you get angry. I ain't see how you handle money. I ain't seen,
Hmm.
how you respect other people. I ain't seen how you get respected by other people. I don't know how you handle stress. I don't know any of that. But because you said you pay all the bills,
Hmm.
because you said you're the provider, because you gave me good word talk, now I'm like, ooh, this my man. And you ain't gave it time. I always say you ain't gave the butterfly stage time to wear off.
Oh, I love that. Okay, okay. So on that, because it sounds like it's two things going on,
Hmm.
um, but I want to get directly into with what you just said in mind. Do you think a lot of people are dating for relationships, or they're dating literally to be dating? Because I've learned that those are two totally different things.
They are
One,
different.
you see a future, and then the other one, okay, let's have fun for right now. It's all about
Hmm.
now. So,
Hmm.
what are you seeing out there when it comes to that level of people interacting? Are they dating to be dating? Are they dating for future relationship?
So I find that we throw dating around too loosely.
Hmm.
Just because we're talking doesn't mean we're dating, and it's the intention, right? So I feel like when people are with each other, one person is probably dating, but the other person is probably just talking. And so we're going in instead of understanding or trying to ask conversations, ask questions on, try to see where this person's mind is at. I feel like we may be going in dating, but
Hmm.
we're quote unquote dating a person that's only here to talk. I'm only here for sex. I'm only here for
Hmm.
a good time. You trying to date me, but that ain't where I'm at. So
Hmm.
it's like, do we stick, so it's like the person would give you something that maybe looks like they're dating you, and then you give all in. You
Hmm.
fantasize now. You on date two, maybe even day one, and now
Hmm.
you're thinking about marriage with this person. But they
Hmm.
ain't thought about marriage with you. They just thinking about, I wonder what they would be like in bed.
Hmm.
So I don't think we're dating correctly a lot of the
Okay.
times.
So, how can someone know? Do you have tips on how someone can know whether or not, okay, so say for instance, like I said, a woman meets a man. How can she know within the first 4 to 6 weeks of
Hmm.
dating him if this guy is serious
Hmm.
or is this guy just wasting her time?
So you will know if, and this is really tough too, because I found that some people actually play the part very, very well. But you'll know if everything he says literally matches all of his actions. So a man
Hmm.
that dates with intention, you don't have to question that at all. He's going to do the dates. He's going to call. He's going to, FaceTime or whatever. He's going to actually plan to actually be involved with you. He's going to plan to have you in his life.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say men vent like women do. So I wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, if he's telling you all his business, then he's intentional. Men don't tend to do that. I think
Hmm.
that's a woman thing to just tell everything. But if he's showing you that, hey, I want you a part of my life in various ways. So asking your thoughts on things, providing to you a little bit of his life. Like, this is my goal. I thought about X, Y, and Z. What you think? Like if he's intentional about the way he see you, hey, what you doing Saturday? If
Hmm.
you're the one that's always planning to meet up and then he never plans to meet up, he's probably not that serious about you. If you're, or if it's, well, come over and he's quick to do that, but he's not quick to go out in public so y'all can be seen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about being seen. I want to, it's
Mm-hmm.
not really about being seen, but then it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because most time if men got a lot going on with other women and, you know, and you're not the only one, they don't want to be seen in no intimate way with you out in public. They ain't not trying to get caught. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so it's like you just got to look at the intention of, is the words for real matching the actions that he's telling you he wants to do or he will do.
Okay, that's what's up. And you kind of leaned it into the whole concept of having a roster. That he might have a roster at home, since he's rotating his women and he don't want, nobody to see. So, is there ways that a woman can know, whether or not he has a roster, or honestly, even a man can know if the woman has
Mhm.
a roster? Because let's say women these days they do that too.
We do it a lot. So this is what I would say to that. Hey, hey, but I think when you understand dating and courting are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
I think once we court, then it's expected that nobody else should be in the picture. But I think with dating, we have to go in understanding that there are possibly other people that this person is talking to. And I
Mm-hmm.
see a lot of people say, well, I ain't compete with nobody. That's fine. Don't compete. Nobody's forcing you to compete. Go find somebody else. It's no need to argue with a person or force a person to get rid of who they're dealing with. When something organically flows, they will get rid of who's not benefiting them.
Mm-hmm.
For you. You don't have to force that. So I feel like we need to go in dating with the idea that there's a possibility that there are people on the quote unquote roster. I
Mm-hmm.
think we fail because we bring sex into it way too soon. And it confuses things. I don't believe women are built for casual sex. I honestly don't. But a lot of women are doing it. So, it's a lot of confusion going on. Like, oh, you played me. I thought we were, something. And they like, I never told you we were a thing. Where did you get that from? But you got that because you're having sex with this person. You're talking with the person all the time. Probably ain't even with on a real date. But y'all are, you're doing your thing. So emotionally, you've invested into something that you wasn't sure that you even had the position for yet.